channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for subscribing. Y'all, I'm hyped about today's show. I know I say that every time, but for real, because one of my old friends is in the building today, Calvin Brown Jr. He is the co-executive producer of the Proud Family reboot. It's the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. It premieres on Disney Plus on February 23rd. I'm hype about it because I can't wait to see what Penny and her crew are up to and all the things, right? So y'all also on social media bring up Calvin's show, My Brother and Me. Y'all remember that? Every few months it pops up on social media and everybody's like, I want that show back. Well, hey, I'm going to talk to Calvin about that today, so stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss today's show. Welcome to Check the Rhymes, Calvin Brown Jr. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I was just telling the audience in my intro that you and I go way back.
Oh, yeah. I remember, God, it's been, maybe close to 10 years, maybe?
Yeah, I think I randomly reached out to you like, hey, you want to be my mentor? And you're like, who's this crazy girl?
No, and believe me, I'm still thinking about you. If I create anything again that I can hire people that I want on my staff, I'm definitely calling you.
And I appreciate that. So you've got an exciting project right now that is coming up on February 23rd. And judging by your t-shirt, you're also promoting it very well.
That's important.
Love it. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Or is it Prouder and Louder? I get those confused.
Louder and Prouder, I tell you. And so far, so good.
So tell us about what can we, let's back up because the Proud Family, the original, just celebrated 20 years last year. Right? Or is it? Yeah, last year.
It premiered in 2001. We were like one of the first scripted shows that premiered after 9/11 in 2001. And it was the Friday after 9/11. So
wow.
Whatever that Friday was in 2001, that's when we premiered. And it was a crazy time. And, it was a sad time.
Yeah.
But when our show premiered, I think it did lift a lot of spirits and ultimately became a part of Black television history, first Black animated series on the Disney Channel.
Right.
And after that, they had some other ones. Then they had That's So Raven, but we were first. So
did you worked on the original as well?
Oh, yeah, I was there. I've been there since day one.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. This is my second go around on the show. I mean, if you go to, I guess, Google or Wikipedia, IMDb, and count all the episodes that have been written, I've written more episodes than anybody on Earth when it comes to the Proud Family. So,
wow, so you know these characters pretty well then.
Well, yeah, it's so funny. We came back. We started in June 2019, we started pre-production, then we started full production in October 2019. And that first day of pre-production was like we had never left. I mean, it was there. It was still the same characters, though things have changed slightly, a little older. And compared to what we did the first time around, there's so many things now, social media, cell phones, a lot of stuff that we didn't even think about or explore. The whole LGBTQ movement. I mean, we've really tried to make this show very relevant to this, this time.
Wow. Okay. So I've been binging The Proud Family because honestly, and I'm probably giving away my age, but at that time when it came out, because of 9/11, I got laid off. So I wasn't really watching much TV. I was trying to find a job. So being at home now, because we're in a pandemic, wait a minute, there's a theme here. We need our spirits lifted again.
Hey, every time Proud Family premieres, something's going on.
Right. So I've been watching it because working from home, and I will be in here cracking up laughing. There was one episode in the first season, the bully episode, where The sisters were, they're
Those
like, oh, you
sisters.
brought your daddy? We got a daddy too. And I was in here in tears.
That was a great episode. It introduced, well, the Grosses had been introduced by them, but it was an episode that kind of focused on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it also introduced Dr. Payne, who became a huge part of our
Yeah.
show. So that was a great episode.
Yeah. I'm like,
A lot of fun.
I missed it the first time around. Like this show is great.
We did 52 the first time around, and we did the movie. So we're looking forward to this season premiering. God, in a couple of weeks. So hopefully the feedback will be just as good. And hey, I gotta give Disney credit. They're on top of everything this time around. I mean, we got a merchandise deal with Target, and they're already have stuff on their website and more to come. So we're really excited. We got something special this time around. We had something special 20 years ago, but we may have been a little ahead of our time. Who knows?
So you mentioned that this time around they're a little older. So how old was, because I haven't gotten to the second season yet, how old was Penny when we left off, like when it from the original to like now? Is she 14 this time? I don't know if
our
she's
kids
14
are probably in the late 14, early 15 years, probably in the ninth grade. Though they're still in middle school, Willie T. Ribbs Middle School, but it's probably more Willie T. Ribbs Junior High School because they're kind of like the seniors there. And eventually we'll get to high school, but so far so good. We're still doing a lot of the stuff that we missed out on the first time around. And I think it's still important to do shows with a tween or early teenage base because there's not a lot out there.
Yeah.
Least has our voices the way Proud Family is. I mean, we've always been Black. I mean, unapologetically Black. We've never pretended that we're not a show about a group of kids that hang out, and the majority of them are Black. And we do have, other characters. We have Zoe, who's white. We have the Chang sisters, who are Korean. We have, a lot of diversity on the show. But at the heart of it, it's a Black show because Bruce Smith, the creator and animator, he wanted to do something with people that he grew up with, something, like his family. His mother is Suga Mama. I think that was her real nickname. So incorporated that in the show. Of course, we took her to a completely different place, but had a lot of fun, I'm telling you.
So are all the characters that we saw the first go around, are they all coming back? Because I had a fan ask if Sticky was coming back.
Tell them they're gonna have to watch the first episode on February 23rd.
Come on.
All
now.
I can say. Hey, I mean, if you look at the trailers, you do see Sticky in the trailers, so leave it at
that. So let's see. Are the original cast, are those the same ones coming back? And I know y'all have some like power players also joining this season as well. Can you talk about who we can expect to, I guess, hear with?
Well, as part of our younger crowd, we'll have Kiki Palmer, who'll be playing a character named Maya, who's one of Penny's classmates. She becomes a part of the gang. She has a brother, KG, who was played by a boogie with the hoodie, who was a very, very good rapper. And it's just a great, great kid. I mean, got a lot of stuff that I think everybody will like. And they are siblings. Both of them are adopted, and their adopted parents are played by Billy Porter and Zachary Quinto. They play Randall and Barry. So we've got some really interesting heavy hitter people that are joining the show. So we're really excited.
So as you're the co-executive producer, tell us what that means. What do you do exactly? Because I think some people really don't know what producers do.
Well, I do a lot, to be honest. First and foremost, I'm a writer. And other than making sure that the shows are, well written, have heart, and especially are funny, our jobs are also recording the cast, going to editing sessions, going to note sessions, trying to make things, past what it'll take for it to air.
Mhm.
Just a lot of stuff that you have to do before you get to the point when the show airs. And with animation, it can be kind of tedious from time to time because it's a lot of stuff that goes on,
Mhm.
not just from the writing standpoint, but from the artists, storyboard artists. They have their editors. They have, it's a monster between the writing staff and the animation staff and
Mhm.
the crew. And we have the sound, we have the music. And by the time everything is put together, we hope to have something aired that everybody will like. And
Mhm.
so far, so good. I mean, at least going by the first series and the episodes that I've seen that have finally been completed have been great. I just think you guys are going to be so excited.
How many episodes are we getting for this season?
Well, that I don't know, but I know right now we're airing weekly starting on February 23rd. So I guess until either they run out or reschedule, I'll just keep watching every Wednesday night.
Okay, all right. So with you being in North Carolina, how did that work, especially with this pandemic? How did y'all work on the show? Did you still have to go? I'm assuming y'all were doing all this in LA or somewhere. I don't know, but how did this all come together because of Corona? Corona has been the worst thing, like just changing how we do everything. So how did that work for y'all?
Well, we were working in LA until we left. And we started working via Zoom on March 16, 2020. And I've been back home since then because there's no need to be out in LA and
Yeah,
paying for a rental car and place to stay and all that. Because I commute when I'm not, when I'm working, I commute to Los Angeles. When I'm not working, I'm home here in North Carolina.
mm-hmm.
And I recently moved to Durham, so that's where I am now. But it's been like what we're doing right now. I mean, everybody's in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
despite,
yeah.
I mean, we've done all the records, like this. We've done the rewrites, the writing of the scripts, the breaking of the stories. We constantly have meetings to try and make sure that everything is going smoothly. So, in reality, if this pandemic had never happened, we would probably be talking about maybe season 2 now or
Oh
so
yeah,
further.
yeah.
But despite that, we've done pretty good. I mean, the other thing is, we have to send our animation out abroad, so
Mm-hmm.
they've been swamped because I think one thing that has come about as a positive for this pandemic is that animation is pretty much pandemic proof. We were able to do a show, not worry about being on the set with everybody, somebody getting
True.
sick, shutting down. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all of us are in the box, and the only virus that'll stop us if we have a virus on our computer. Because
Yeah,
if we come down with COVID, I mean, hey, we may be quarantined, but like I got my doors closed, no one would be bothering me, and I can
right.
work. We've been very lucky, and the big thing is everybody's been doing everything they can to be safe. Pretty much everybody that works on the show has been vaccinated or boosted or
Mm-hmm.
both, and it's just really important to stay healthy and
Yeah.
trying to like get to the point where we do go back to the studio. That's of course what we hope to do, because as much as it's fun to be able to still work and work from home, it's not the same as
Yeah.
having that camaraderie and human contact and the kind of thing that we were used to before. So I think everybody's at a point now where they're hoping and praying that things will be better, but until they are, I'm going to still be working like this.
Yeah, same. Right here in this house.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So you grew up in Charlotte,
yeah.
and a lot of, there's so many creatives here, right? So a lot of people maybe not know your journey of how you went from growing up here in Charlotte to where you are now. So can you talk a little bit about your journey?
Well, yeah, I was radio, television, motion pictures, the major at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And sadly, back then, the only thing they really taught me how to do was to write for the news. And
Yeah.
somebody who wants to do comedy, trust me, I can find something funny in a plane crash. You don't want me in your newsroom. So
I would have wanted you in my newsroom.
well, you've been one of the very few. But yeah, so when I came back home, I started doing stand up just to keep my mind fresh, to keep the craziness going in my head, because I knew one day I'd be doing this. And ultimately, I moved out to California in September 1988, and I was working for the airline. I worked for the airline in Charlotte for a year. Then I transferred to LA because that way, if things didn't work out, I could get back home.
There you go.
Yeah. So when I wasn't working, I was mailing out resumes and just saying, please, I'll do anything. I just want to get my foot in the door. So I did have an interview with the show A Different World, and that was the summer of 1989. And I was going for a PA position. And the line producer asked me what I ultimately want to do. And I told her I wanted to be a writer. She said, oh, too bad you don't have a script. They're looking for an intern on the writing staff. I said, well, I have a script. I did have a script that I had written years, prior. But I mean, the format was wrong. It was just, everything was just like amateurish, but the story made sense and the jokes were funny. So I ended up getting the job. And
wow.
I've been working in television since July 1989. 33 years coming up in July.
Wow, that is an amazing story, because I think a lot of times people don't realize, like, if that you should stay ready, because you never know when that opportunity is gonna the door is gonna open and you can get like a toe in or something. But
no, you're absolutely right. I mean, in my wildest dreams, I would have never thought that I wouldn't have to pay my dues and get people coffee and deliver scripts and all the kind of stuff you used to have to do back then. I mean, I've worked in a writing room since day one, so I've been really blessed.
What is it like in the writer's room? I've always wondered, like, of course we've seen TV shows that have like the writer's room, but like, what's it really like?
It's a fun place, trust me. It's like Vegas. What happens in the writer's room stays in the writer's room, because you don't want to get sued, you don't want to get fired, but some of the stuff that comes out of your mouth, it's just so inappropriate. But a lot of times it'll lead to something that's really funny that is appropriate. So, it's like, you just gotta have a thick skin. You have to be able to like pitch jokes and just try to entertain people. And that kind of took the place of stand-up in my life. Once I started doing this, stand-up was just, that was over. So I guess my performing would be in the writer's room, 5 days a week.
I was just gonna say, you kind of let that dream go, but actually, I guess not, because you still have an audience.
Well, that's true, and I have a huge audience from people watching on television and watching streaming, and and it's been a blessing. I had a friend call me the other day. They got BET Plus because they want to see the reboot of Real Husbands of Hollywood. Worked on seasons, but unfortunately, I was locked up with Disney, so I couldn't work on it this time around. So I got to get BET Plus so I can see the episodes. I know they're great. So it's just, you just can't beat it. It's not just the network audience anymore, the cable audience. You have the streaming audience. So it's really cool.
So are you seeing, because I know a lot of the chatter, at least on social media, is always that the writers' rooms aren't representative of what we see on TV. So like, for example, I don't want to call out any shows, but I'm trying to think of how to word this so I don't get in trouble either.
One thing I can tell you about our writers' room, it's everybody on our writing staff's a person of color. Everybody, they're Black or Latino. So that's our staff. And the first time around, it was an all Black staff. So Proud Family's always been a staff of people that look like us and look like the characters. And we have also done freelance episodes. So we've had we've had white people, Asian people, Latino people write episodes of the Proud Family, but the core of the show has always been a Black, or actually a Black and Latina staff. Doreen Spicer, who developed the show with Bruce Smith, she's half Black and half Puerto Rican. So we've always had that flavor in the room.
Okay, yeah. So I guess that's the thing, because I like when I hear people chatter about these writers' rooms, they don't bring up the fact that there are some that may be like very diverse. It's always like, well, this one doesn't have this one, and then they just laser in on those particular shows, but they don't take into account the other ones that may have a diverse writers' room. But yeah, I was like, I'm better not call out anybody.
Well, I'm gonna be honest though, I've been spoiled. I mean, when I was on A Different World, the majority of the writing staff was Black. When I hooked up with my mentor, who I'm still working with 30 years later, Ralph Farquhar, all of the shows that we've worked on have had a majority Black staff. And it's not by saying we don't want writers that aren't Black, but for the shows that we've done and worked on together, Moesha, the Parkers, Proud Family, several different pilots, we always want people that understand and know what it's like to be Black in a world where, you know, TV outside of the TV that I've been blessed to work on, a lot of those shows, you don't see Black people on the screen. So I guarantee if they're not on the screen, they're not in the writing staff.
Right.
So, you know, and I have been blessed on shows like Married with Children. When I was on Married with Children, I was like the only full-time Black producer there, but Michael Moore, who created the show, was consulting, so he was there too. So I've always been around shows where either people who are Black are high up or in charge, or at least that diversity is there because of what they built. So I've been very, very, very blessed.
Well, of course, I got to ask. Well, two questions, because when you just mentioned Moesha, I know you know what I'm going to ask about the last episode.
I was working on a Proud Family then, so I have nothing to do with that. But it's so funny. People keep saying, well, what about Miles? Are they going to get Miles? Where is Miles? And I always tell people Miles is on the Proud Family now. He does a character named Myron, Marcus Polk, who played Miles. It's just a hilarious guy, great voice actor, great actor. And he's been on Proud Family pretty much since day one. So we've been really blessed. But yeah, as far as if there ever is a Moesha reboot, I have no idea. Will they find Miles 20 years later or what?
Okay. All right. Every few months, and I think I message you every time I see it on social media, there's always that chatter of My Brother and Me. Talk about that. Like, what is that like for you all these years later that people still love that show? And how did that even come to fruition?
Well, it's funny. I actually met a gentleman and a lady who had a deal. And I told them I would love to do a show like a Black Leave It to Beaver, a show where the Black kids that star in the show is from their POV. And ultimately, they greenlighted it. And then I did a pilot. The first pilot, I just wasn't happy with. So we did a second pilot, and I made changes along with the staff and the co-creator of the show, Lunga Adele, that I think really resonated with kids. And the show ended up being really good, I think, for the 13 episodes that we did. And for a show that only ran one season, 13 episodes, and then years of reruns, it's like people still love the show. People are always talking about it. Goo Punch. I mean, it's just always something. And there's even been talks about a possible reboot of that, but who knows? I mean, would it shock me? Yes, but if it happened, I would definitely be willing to work on it. Right now, though, I'm on the Proud Family. I'm working for Disney, so I don't see me being available anytime soon. I don't think it's going to happen without me. So,
very true.
But you just never know.
You never know. True.
We're blessed. We have two big stars that came out of My Brother and Me who are still working today, and Kim Whitley, who's my cousin, by the way, but Kim is Amanda Seals, oh my God, she's just really blown up. And we found Amanda. She was a kid in Orlando who actually came and auditioned for the role of Dion. And when she got it, I mean, we were blown away when she walked in the room. I said, "Oh, this kid's great."
Mm-hmm.
And then look at her now. So it's like,
Yeah.
but you never know. But one thing about it, I mean, there's always something, whether it's on the internet, whether it's articles that I've read. People still resonate with the show. And the best thing about the show to me was like after they canceled it, years later, I was at a award show and I ran into the president of Nickelodeon in the bathroom of all places. And, we spoke and it was funny. He said, the biggest mistake I ever made was canceling my brother and me. So that made me feel good because I was like saying,
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome that he, could admit that. And I know that I've thrown in my brother and me in a lot of articles, especially about like shows that kids can watch and just one of the top Black TV shows that, in our history. Of course, Charlotte, shout out to Charlotte.
And we feel blessed and we really appreciate it because, we were the first African-American show on Nickelodeon as far as, sitcom and everything.
Yeah.
And it led to so many other shows afterwards. I mean, there wouldn't have been a Kenan and Kel or Cousin Skeeter or God knows what's on now.
Right.
Tyler Perry's I'm a Kid show, whatever the heck it's called.
Dylan, I think.
My girl Lele or whatever. But hey, it's like, it all started with my brother and me. So it makes me feel like,
we
did something.
Love that because, it is Black History Month. And I'm sitting here like, maybe I need to include that on my Black History facts.
Well, it's funny. Hey, I've been blessed to work on the first Black show on both Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. So what else are you, well, I guess you're just tied up with this. I was going to say, what else are you working on? But it seems like you just are super busy with this right now. But I do want to make sure we talk about this. Everybody loves the original Proud Family theme song, but this one is different. Talk about that. Who we got on the track?
We got a great up and coming R&B. God, what do you call that? It's kind of the new word that took over for soul, that a lot of neo soul or something like that. But her name is Joyce Rice, and she is incredible. If you've heard the song or at least seen the videos and releases about it, it's been really incredible. I mean, she's Penny Proud. I mean, she's like, what would Penny be like in 2022?
Yeah.
And like Solange was what she was in 2001. Joyce is what she is in 2022, and I'm really excited. I mean, they took the song, they reworked it, but at the end of the day, it's still the Proud Family theme song, and it's just it's so good. So I'm excited about that. Joyce is a sweetheart. I mean, she's adorable. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but she's somebody like, it's funny. I got a call and somebody said, "Oh, you got to come up with something. You got to get her a role. She's so cute. She's so cute." And this was a woman, so it's not even like a guy. Like this is like somebody who's like, "Hey, she's great." So hopefully we'll get her on there, and we do have some other up and coming female artists and that are in episodes. So you'll see when you watch the show, but it's going to be a really good year.
Oh, I can't wait. Do you guys have, well, I guess it's kind of hard to do in COVID, like a big thing planned for the premiere? Because I don't know if you're doing red carpets or any of that type thing, but any of that planned?
Well, there was a plan to have a big in-person party, but then Omicron came along. So, I think we'll have a party eventually. It probably, isn't going to happen before February 23rd, but hopefully this time next year, whenever, whatever season's coming out, I won't be in this room again. Hopefully I'll be at a real party and everything, but it's been a party doing this show. Even doing it from home and doing it away from La La Land or whatever.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character?
Oscar, because he's so inappropriate. He'll say and do anything. He's very funny. He has, no couth whatsoever. And probably right behind him is Suga Mama, who,
Yes.
a lot of those traits Oscar has, he got it from her. So, and I just love Joe Marie Payton and Tommy Davidson. I've known them both before started doing this show, and they're just incredible and just super funny. And we have a great cast. Everybody in that cast is really funny. But I mean, those two have just always been special to me because you can write almost anything and it can come out of Oscar's mouth, and as bad as it is, you're still going to laugh, whether it's misogynist or sexist or inappropriate or insulting, it's still funny at the end of the day. And Suga Mama, she's going to make sure he gets his comeuppance. So it works. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. It seems like you have the best time at work. I'm so jealous.
No. Well, I do. I'm not going to lie. Work is fun. I've never been in a situation where I hate coming to work since I've been working in television. I love what I do. And that is a blessing in itself because most people, nobody loves their job. I love my job. So I hope it will continue. And the best thing about it is like, I can be 88 years old. And as long as I can pitch a joke, I can work. Hopefully it won't come to that, but at least it's good to know.
That's too funny. Well, I want to thank you for coming on Check the Rhymes, and I'm excited to check out the Proud Family Revival, Louder and Prouder, on Disney Plus starting on February 23rd. And then you said it will air like one episode every Wednesday after that.
Wednesday night, yes. So make sure you get Disney Plus. If people are watching it, you can't see it on Disney Channel. You won't be able to find it on YouTube, at least not initially. I'm sure some tech genius will figure out a way to crack the code.
No ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that won't happen. But yes, please get Disney Plus, or do like me, get the whole Disney Plus package. Get ESPN Plus, Hulu. You get it all, and it's pretty reasonably priced. So I can,
Yeah.
Even if I didn't work on the show, I probably would get it because, it's. If you want to watch Marvel stuff, it's on Disney Plus. If you want to watch pretty much anything that's Disney or 20th Century now, they own the old Simpsons Library, Family Guy. It's like a lot of stuff is on Disney Plus, so it's worth it. And I think the Proud Family is going to really make it worth it.
Yes, yes. So, and if you guys are like me and haven't watched the original, you can catch up on that before the 23rd. It's on Disney Plus as well.
All the old episodes and the movie are on Disney Plus. And trust me, I mean, if you've never seen the show before, I don't think you have to see it before you see the reboot. But trust me, if you watch the original show, you'll be dying for the new shows.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. You got to come back when, I know there's going to be a season 2, so you'll have to come back here and talk to me about that. Well,
if enough of you guys watch Disney Plus, and I think y'all will guarantee it. But from the feedback I'm having and that I've been getting and episodes that I've seen, I got a feeling they're going to be clamoring for more. So,
yeah. And
hopefully next time I can do it in person, or you can come out to LA and hang out with us.
Yes, set visit. Thank you, Calvin.
Oh no, thanks. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And next time I'll wear my Check the Rhyme shirt instead of my Proud Family shirt. But I better probably wear my Proud Family shirt for this.
Yeah. I think that was probably more important. But yes, next time.
I do support you. I got that shirt on that you have on.
I love it. Thank you so much for being so supportive. I always see that you are checking out the content, and I appreciate that.
Oh, well, hey, I appreciate you. I think what you're doing is great. Hopefully one day, you'll be doing it on Entertainment Tonight or, somewhere like that, or working on a show with me. So
yes,
your future is bright.
Yes, manifesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.